he has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage. Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division.
But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint
the opponent. But anybody that's watched Terence Crawford's career knows full well how much talent this young man has. I mean, he is absolutely sensational, both as an orthodox and as a southpaw fighter. You can't really tell which is his favoured side.
ESPN analysts Dan Raphael and Stephen A. Smith believed Terence Crawford would dominate Canelo Alvarez. They argue that while Canelo was once known for his granite chin, recent fights have exposed vulnerabilities, with him taking more punishment than before. Crawford's slick movement, elite timing, and knockout power create a dangerous mix that Canelo may not withstand. According to them, Crawford has every tool needed to outbox and decisively hurt Alvarez.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A. all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hyped about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round 1, or there might have been so much more trouble. Stephen A., that was like, 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage. Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
Stephen A. Smith delivers a bold and unwavering take on the highly anticipated clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. With complete confidence, he throws his support behind Crawford, insisting that victory is well within his grasp. Smith highlights that Crawford's edge goes beyond technical brilliance. It lies in his hunger, determination, and burning desire to prove himself on the biggest stage. He stresses that Crawford's mindset and relentless drive will be the deciding factors, showcasing just how much he values a fighter's ambition, preparation, and will to dominate.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes,
Who's going to win the fight, man, that's coming up? The biggest fight in boxing?
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You going to stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud,
Right.
it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
That's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's going to go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready. He's always ready.
always prepared.
He's always ready. He's
get
always prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster. But I don't think he's...
Teddy Atlas strengthens a case for Terence Crawford by stressing the principle of skill over size. He argues that physical attributes like weight, reach, or bulk cannot surpass the value of true boxing mastery. Atlas points out that Crawford's game is built on precision, timing, and adaptability, qualities that consistently outweigh raw strength. In his eyes, Canelo's power and physical presence lose their impact against a fighter capable of dismantling opponents with pure technical brilliance. Atlas's perspective reinforces a belief that superior skill can neutralize size disadvantages and decisively shift the balance in high-stakes matchups.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire, it's in his mind, it's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moved up in weight class, can carry it, but those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Al Bernstein underscores a key element of Terence Crawford's arsenal, his unpredictability. Unlike fighters who rely on a fixed game plan, Crawford adjusts seamlessly during a fight, forcing opponents into constant uncertainty. This adaptability is particularly dangerous against someone like Canelo, who depends heavily on timing and counterpunching. Bernstein emphasizes that Crawford's ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw stances adds yet another layer of complexity. Such versatility makes it extremely difficult for Canelo to anticipate incoming attacks, leaving him exposed to sharp combinations and openings he may never see come.
Most fans or most people would probably say Crawford, I'm guessing, because that's a big part of how he's won, and everybody feels that and rightfully so, that the way he's figured out, he's constantly changing from lefty to righty. He's a person that alters his attack. Sometimes he's a boxer, sometimes he's walking people down. Canelo's style is more the same in most fights. He is a counterpuncher who's waiting for you to make your move so he can counterpunch you. Then when he has you in trouble, he's willing to move forward. His attack is a pretty straightforward one. On the face of it, you might say Crawford, but I think the thing about Canelo Alvarez is that he has seen every style that you can see.
Gareth A. Davies draws attention to Terence Crawford's remarkable depth of experience, emphasizing that the American has been competing at the professional level for more than 15 years. This impressive longevity has sharpened his instincts, refined his ring IQ, and instilled in him the composure to remain unshaken under immense pressure. Davies notes that Crawford's talent has never been in doubt, with his resume showcasing consistent brilliance against elite opposition. Throughout his career, he has faced a wide array of styles, devastating punchers, slick technicians, and battle-tested veterans. Yet he has always adapted and prevailed. This adaptability, combined with patience and polished technical skills, has earned Crawford recognition as one of the sport's most complete fighters. According to Davies, such unparalleled experience grants Crawford a crucial advantage, one that becomes especially significant when envisioning a high-stakes showdown against Canelo Alvarez. It is, in Davies' view, a factor that simply cannot be ignored.
The levels that he's gone through, the weights that he's gone through, and the opponents that he has been in with. He's come up short against a couple, but he's come through some big challenges as well through his, 65, 66 professional bouts since he was 15 years of age. There's no doubt that this is the biggest test of Terence Crawford's career, not only because of the weight step up, but also because of the level of the opponent. But anybody that's watched Terence Crawford's career knows full well how much talent this young man has. He is absolutely sensational, both as an orthodox and as a southpaw fighter. You can't really tell which is his favoured side. He's that good. The angles that he creates, and the way that he not only dissects people, but the way that he puts his foot down when he gets somebody hurt.
He's spiteful.
He's truly, truly impressive.
But what he also does, and this is where I think people are making the mistake with the fight with Israel Madrimov last summer in Los Angeles, was that Terence doesn't mind doing enough to win. He doesn't. If he knows he's got to win on points, he's happy to tuck everything neatly in the office and win round by round. It reminds me of Floyd Mayweather. It reminds me of Pernell Whitaker. It reminds me of guys that win with ease without overstretching themselves, that don't have to get in the battle. But when he's got someone hurt, as you rightly say, he's spiteful. I'm not sure he'll get Canelo hurt in this fight, but if his timing and his movement are on, the slightly slowed Canelo, who likes to load up these days, could find himself frustrated by Terence Crawford.
Yeah, and there's also the aspect of when he is behind. I mean, we've all seen that famous clip where he's fighting Sean Porter. Somebody sells him ringside. They've got him down on the cards. He goes through the gears and stops Sean Porter in the very next round. There's also that element to him. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant, but he's also fighting someone that's equally as brilliant. A very different type of style, Canelo.
And a fan favourite.
Confidence is a constant theme when discussing Terence Crawford. Analysts highlight how his performances, even in sparring, have left lasting impressions on trainers and fighters who shared the ring with him. These accounts show that Crawford consistently displays brilliance beyond official fights, proving his dominance in every setting. His sharp preparation and disciplined approach ensure he never takes his craft lightly. This consistent excellence fuels a deep mental toughness, giving Crawford unwavering self-belief. That confidence allows him to enter any matchup convinced he can outthink, outwork, and outperform anyone, including a formidable opponent like Canelo Alvarez.
So confident. He's so confident that he's about to become undisputed. Listen, 2 weeks to go, less than 2 weeks to go now. What? We're talking about 12 days. 12 days. What can we expect from this unbelievable showdown? Listen, the build-up has been absolutely incredible. When you talk about the sparring stories, when you talk about the unbelievable rumors that we've been hearing for the past 10 to 12 weeks, will Bud Crawford's power carry? Will Canelo age overnight? So many questions that we have when it comes to this unbelievable fight. But not too long to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to find out the truth. We are about to find out who's truly the greatest of this era. Let me tell you this. I said this in most of my videos so far. The more I watch Bud Crawford and the more I watch Canelo Alvarez tape, the more my appreciation for both men increases. Listen, Canelo is the greatest pressure/counter puncher in history when he puts both together. And Crawford is the most dynamic fighters my eyes ever saw. Ever saw. Now, listen to this. The moment this fight got announced, we didn't know the things that we know now. We didn't know about their sparring partners. We didn't know about the shape that they were gonna come in for this fight.
Comedian and devoted boxing fan Ari Spears offered historical perspective on the looming showdown. He reflected on decades of legendary clashes, where some of Mexico's greatest champions face American fighters celebrated for speed, defense, and sharp counterpunching. Spears pointed out that in many of those matchups, the Americans often prevailed by slipping punches, dictating rhythm, and controlling exchanges with precision. While acknowledging Canelo Alvarez as a complete fighter with vast experience, Spears suggested this fight fits into that long-running tradition of stylistic contrasts, where timing, adaptability, and defensive brilliance frequently determine the outcome against even the most accomplished opponents.
Take a top-notch Hispanic fighter, put him against a top-notch black fighter, the black dude usually edges him out. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the Latino fighters, because look at the greats. De La Hoya, motherfucking
Roberto Duran,
Arguello, Felix Trinidad, what's my man's name? Chavez.
Huh?
So there have been legends, but 9 times out of 10, when the top Mexican legend takes on the top black legend, the black dude wins. Boxing and basketball is just something that niggas just, we got that wop that just, we edge you out. Duran lost to Hagler. He got knocked out so viciously by Hearns. Rumor is he's still waking up today. He lost to, he did the no mas with Leonard.
Yeah, no, I've been hanging out with Sugar Ray Leonard recently. We talked
De
about
La
that whole
Hoya
situation.
lost to Floyd. He lost to Bernard. He lost to Sugar Shane Mosley. Usually the black fighters edge out the Latinos when it come down to it.
So basically, you're saying Crawford's gonna win because he's black.
I'm saying he's gonna win because he's got the skills. But that black component, that's that extra juice.
That's that extra juice. I mean, look.
It's like the Batmobile when it's going fast, and then he hits the nitro button, and the flame shoots out of the back of the car and takes it to another level. Black dudes have the nitro switch.
Canelo Alvarez speaks with his trademark assurance, dismissing the need for outside validation and insisting he requires no approval to confirm his greatness. For him, self-belief has always been at the core of his identity as a fighter, backed by a resume filled with victories over top-tier opponents. Yet, this outlook highlights a key contrast with Terence Crawford. While Crawford is driven by the desire to prove himself and secure a career-defining win, Canelo presents himself as already established at boxing's pinnacle.
You know you're gonna have, right? They can't deny you anymore.
I don't know, but I don't give a fuck. So I feel that I'm the best, and that's it. I don't focus on if the people say or put me in the first position. I'm the best. I feel I'm the best. I'm doing because I love boxing.
I call Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. This is my mega fight. This is my moment.
You didn't have much interest in this Crawford fight. You were saying that there wasn't much in it for you, and you pointed out that people will say that he was too small. What changed?
I think he's one of the best fighters for more fun. No, he accomplished a lot of things too. Mexican with the American fighter is always big.
When he fights you at Allegiant Stadium, I imagine it's going to be 55,000 plus screaming Canelo fans, right? Many from Mexico.
Sean Porter speaks with unwavering conviction about Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez, describing Crawford's mindset and preparation as operating at a level rarely witnessed in boxing. Porter believes Crawford will enter the ring with a meticulously crafted game plan designed to specifically dismantle Canelo's style. He emphasizes Crawford's blistering speed, impeccable timing, and disciplined execution, suggesting these tools will be decisive on fight night. In Porter's view, Crawford is capable of delivering such a complete performance that it could redefine modern boxing expectations, elevating him to one of the most commanding victories in recent memory. The magnitude of this fight underscores why so many consider it one of the defining moments of Crawford's career. Canelo Alvarez represents the highest caliber opponent Crawford has ever faced, adding immense weight to the stakes. Yet, the pressure cuts both ways. For Canelo, defeat against a naturally smaller man moving up in weight could tarnish his otherwise remarkable legacy. In boxing history, champions who fall to lighter challengers are often judged harshly. That is why, for Canelo, this fight is about more than pride. It is a battle to secure his standing among the all-time greats and preserve his reputation.
And he gave a resounding yeah. A resounding yeah. He said it would tarnish Canelo, massively tarnish Canelo's legacy. And some of the things that he said were just basically things that most of us know, just some register and make sure that other people know and others don't, right? But it would tarnish his legacy, and for the obvious reasons. One is, we know that the guy's older. Crawford's older. He's going to be 38 years old here, right? So he's an older fighter. He's an inactive fighter, right? And most of the time, these are things that, make people say that people are going to lose. Man, he's inactive. So he's pretty inactive, hasn't fought in a year, hasn't fought more than once a year in 3 to 4 years, maybe even 5 years. And also, he's coming up in weight.
Showbiz the Adult, a respected voice in boxing analysis, offered a balanced perspective on the Crawford versus Canelo showdown. He emphasized that Canelo's success has long been rooted in toughness, strength, and his ability to apply steady pressure, breaking opponents down with precise counters and relentless pace. His durability and skill at setting traps make him a dangerous opponent for anyone. At the same time, Showbiz highlighted Crawford's wrestling background, which developed a sense of balance, control, and anticipation. When combined with Crawford's sharp boxing IQ, these attributes provide him with a rare edge that few fighters can match.
His legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself. to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it. But he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and analysis on the biggest stories in boxing